Miyazaki Sabou Oolongcha. Gonna do this in the standard way. So the control method, that's 1 to 75 ratio. That's 2 minutes steeping from boiling water. Let's see. So this is in the style of oolong that is like Tieguanyin. It's a light oolong which has a lot of floral notes. It also has those kind of sharp acidic notes that Tieguanyin has that I relate to Gan. But in any case, it's the floral note is the kind of like white orchids. It does smell good. There was another tea I had recently that was I wouldn't be able to remember the name. It's a Chinese tea, and it's packaged individually in a very unique shape. It is from Wui Mountains, though. Anyway, yeah, similar to this at least. In a perfect world, I've got 4.4 grams here. Oh, the world is perfect, I think. 2, 3, 4. All of a sudden, the sun is behind the clouds. I'm gonna turn on the light. So the tea leaf looks pretty mute in the color. There's 3 colors in here. There's like an olive drab, a bluish green, and that bluish green is like when pine needles on the pine trees go through like the wintering and they lose their freshness and they get that kind of bluish sheen to them. I would say it's like that. And then pretty much that same color but a little darker. That could be compared to seafoam green. Shape is curled. So of course it does not look like Tieguanyin. Let's see. I'd say it looks rather unique, especially like crazy looking leaves like this. It's like wiggly, like a little dragon. Anyway, let's see if we can't find more aroma. The water is just about to come to a boil. I gotta head into work pretty quick here. So acidic something, so I mean it's a very acidic smell. And I think that the only time this aroma would ever come up in life is through a vinegar dish of some sort. So like cucumbers in rice vinegar, like Japanese tsukemono. It's like really poorly made sushi rice where there's too much vinegar. There's a very green smell too, and it's a vegetal green, or it is an underripe fruity green, like an underripe pear that is made into a pickle with rice vinegar. something like that. So I would have to say that that is probably pretty accurate. It's got a very kind of peary sort of flavor, aroma. Okay, well, I'll get the water. Pause for now. Okay. Alexa, start a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Staying in line with what you'd expect from Tiguanian. Kind of a dried grassy plus orchid. Yeah, there's like this field like fresh aroma. I also, when this is a little bit stronger than it is, I would compare it to bounce sheets that you like put in the dryer to keep your clothes smelling fresh. But it's a very intricately linked aroma for me with laundry. More so for like hanging up your clothes, which I haven't done in. I've never done it, but I mean my mom and my neighbors have done that when I was a kid. But so that aroma of like drying pole laundry is kind of ingrained in my head. And I guess, yeah, I would say it smells. If I didn't know it was Japanese, I wouldn't say it's Japanese. This definitely, it has nothing which pulls this away from Tieguanians far enough that you wouldn't think it was. So in a way, maybe that's a very good compliment because Tieguanian's a great tea. Alexa, stop. What I might say though is that if this was Chinese Tieguanian, I don't know if I would think it's a very good quality one based on this color. It's pretty yellow. It's pretty deep. Kind of looks like that's like pea yellow. No way to. It's not gold, but it's close to gold. But it's more of a. I don't know. It's not gold. I would say it's urine, and there's a small difference in my head. Of course, color can't be pungent, but that's kind of how I think of it somehow. So there's a bit more of a waxiness once it's off the leaves. It's not beeswax though. That kind of wax is maybe hard to describe. Like wax beans. So canned yellow beans. I think they're called wax beans. It's pretty pungent. There's something like a pumpkin seed, not toasted, or maybe even a little toasted, but pumpkin seed has a pretty distinct flavor as well, aroma as well. Okay, Yeah, it's pumpkin seed, wax beans, and then kind of classic Tea Kuan Yin, which is more or less a floral oolong tea. So I think that's how I might describe um, those things. Well, surely the aroma is more impressive than the flavor. It's not so intense. It's pretty light. It starts very narrow and it doesn't really open up. It's like a long, I don't know, it's kind of like looking through a straw. And that's kind of how the flavor is, like coming through a straw. And like you would expect, eventually it kind of opens up at the end, but nope, doesn't really happen. It's very direct. You get pretty much one flavor, and then that's that. Finish is not bad. The finish is at least what you would hope for. It's nice, refreshing, cooling, floral. As the tea is cooling, it's getting more and more pungent smelling. There's an oiliness in the texture of it. Okay, so to go through the ratings of the different parameters: aroma and concentration. The aroma is 4 out of 10. The concentration of flavor is 5 out of 10. Astringency, maybe 1. 0 or 1. Maybe 1 is more fair to say. Finish is 4. And then the weight of the tea. It's like a 5. I mean, maybe, like, okay, let me say, first of all, the flavors don't need to be stronger than they are. They just need to be cleaner and better or different than what they are. And that could be, in this case especially, it could be because the water is too hot. I've never had that issue really with Chinese Tea Kuan Yin, but maybe it's the case here. I wouldn't want to see a color this dark. I would want to hopefully see it as a kind of green, a shade of green rather than a shade of yellow, especially such a concentrated yellow. That would be very risky. Don't drink from that. It's not bad. It's decent. I wouldn't say it's good. I definitely wouldn't say anything above that. It's between decent and good. Maybe it's better than decent. I wouldn't buy it, but if someone needed a reference point for what a green oolong tastes like a majority of the time, I would say they should try this for, I guess, to show the flavors that are when a tea guan yin is decent. Because it's not, yeah, there's bad tea guan yin that has no personality. This at least has those things. It's just, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now. Maybe the last thing, we can check out the leaf. So there's a spiciness actually in there. I think it's kind of like mace or nutmeg, plus green herbs, pot herbs. That would be so when I say pot herbs, that's things that you put in hot pot. There's a la lot pepper leaf. It's a Vietnamese thing. I think that maybe that I could say that aroma's in here a little bit. The color of the leaf is like olive green. Olive green. There's a little bit of a bricking happening on there, on some of them. Yeah, moss green, olive green with some red bricking. I have another package, and what I will do is brew that cooler. Maybe that'll fix the problems, but that'll be for later. Off to work I go. Thanks for watching, guys.